This is 3D Up Close and Personal.
I'm David.
I'm Danielle.
And I'm Darryl. 3D Up Close and Personal.
Episode 11, Living with In-laws.
It's a crazy spin. These walls are closing. Can't let the chaos win. In-laws living here. It's a challenge for sure. We love each other, but I need a little more.
We received that letter about the in-laws.
And it says, "What's up, close and personal? I am happily married with a husband and with 2 tweens, a boy that's 12 and a girl that's 10. We live comfortable in the suburbs, and all is well for the most part."
Nice.
Then my husband's mom breaks her leg.
Oh, no.
And my husband asks, can she stay with us until her cast is removed? Since she's an older woman, the doctor told her it would be 12 weeks of healing. I told him yes. And 3 weeks into her visit, she thinks she has room service. The kids help me out, but sometimes she can be too bossy. To add fuel to the fire, a single uncle's apartment caught on fire, and he needs a place to stay for 90 days. My husband said,
"It's only 3 months, babe.
and he can pay rent to us while he stays. We could use the money." I hesitated, then and said yes. Now our living arrangements are 4 adults and 2 kids, 3 bedrooms, 1.5 bathroom. His uncle's okay as long as he's at work and locks the bathroom door.
Lock that door. Nobody wants to see you.
I'm trying to manage my life changes and keep the peace while keeping my family intact. Any suggestions would help. Signed, Full House and Too Close for Comfort.
That's 2 TV shows in one.
Oh no, definitely that's foul. You know, I would have told her, girl, you know, your mama got to go to the nurse home.
So mean.
That's a tough situation.
If you win that argument, you win, you've lost. You know, you can't win with that. You know,
choose your battles wisely.
The uncle's pretty good. At least he's pink. I mean, because he could be a deadbeat uncle.
But the husband and wife are paying the price of inconvenience too with all them people in that house.
Oh, no doubt. Wait a minute, 4 adults and 2 kids. So that's 6 butts.
What kind of math are you doing?
That's a lot of bottoms for 2 toilets.
You have to have them toilets scheduled.
What are you doing up at 3 in the morning?
Because that's the only time I get in the bathroom.
Yeah, you gotta have a schedule like that.
With that many people in the house, communication is the key.
Once you let people in your house, man, it's hard to get them out your house. You can get comfortable.
Yeah, why you call the police on me?
Sometimes relatives, you got to evict them through the court, you know? And like, I know my rights. You can't be putting me out this house.
At the same time, it could be a financial strain because the lady didn't mention that mom was paying anything. She just said that mom was there, you know? So I don't know about that. And then the time balance. She didn't mention did they work or not.
And then the nerve of the mama wanted to be waited on.
I paid my dues. I deserve this. Don't hate on me.
Now, she's also mobility. You got to have a little compassion sometimes.
That's one thing, but the requesting demand sometimes it be going up consistent with the injury, you know?
I was wondering how much time they can get with relations.
Really, that's none of your business.
Like I said, a lot of stuff got to get scheduled around this house.
Yeah. It is date night. They don't come back to the next day because they rent the hotel room.
I mean, at that point, they can't do that because they're taking care of mom, sounds like.
Hey, uncle's there and the kids that is. Where if they leave, apparently they feel comfortable that the house won't be on fire when they come back. Go ahead, Danielle. Read, please.
Alrighty. Well, I have at least 5 tips for communicating because that was the first thing that we mentioned because the main key seems to be all this is going to revolve around communication. Number 1, you got to set those boundaries.
Don't cross that line. That's the boundary.
The key to having a healthy relationship with anybody is setting your boundaries. And you need to set those boundaries in the beginning.
Starting right now.
You need to have open communication with them.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
It's important in any relationship, and it'll help you keep the peace so you can express yourself and they can express themselves. Establish your own family space.
Space is good.
And so that was going to be hard, it sounds like, because they all live in a house together. I think it's just really the gist of what I'm seeing here is just having those roles and knowing your roles in the relationship. Knowing criticism will come and limit time with unsupportive in-laws. So that's not really an option in this case, though.
Yeah. Yeah, and I guess that space would be like this: the husband and wife, they had the bedroom. They closed the door. They say, I don't think the uncle or the mama would be knocking on the door, but the kids probably would.
Another good rule of thumb, too, is if somebody come to stay with you, like in this scenario, the mama's supposed to be staying for 3 weeks, you may as well add another week or two there just for good measure, just to be on the conservative side. Don't be marking your calendar with 21 days and be getting bent out of shape.
She said 12 weeks, so that's 90 days.
Man, that could seem like a lifetime.
3 months, 12 weeks.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I see what you mean. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's 12 weeks. Think about maybe 4 months.
You never know.
She may have complications and heal.
Please don't say that.
She might say,
why not just move in here?
Who died and made her queen.
I spend time with my grandkids, beautiful children. And she's really comfortable. They're good kids. They give me everything I need.
And then, since we're on the subject of in-laws, what if there's a mismatch in values of whether or not the woman of the house, the man of the house wants their mom living there permanently? I mean, you might have different mindsets. Some are like, okay, well, they need to have their own apartment.
Yes.
I want mama living with us.
I don't see what you see.
How do you manage the differential with their values on that situation?
People who's got a little money, they always have they have the mother-in-law apartment that's attached to the house, so she got her own stuff where she can stay isolated.
That sounds wonderful.
But everybody has the option.
You bubble buster.
they have to interact and share the same kitchen and bathroom.
Sounds like we need a room addition.
It can be challenging. The husband and wife, they have to talk about, okay, well, how much can we tolerate her and be respectful? Boundaries. Mama can't get involved if we have disagreement.
Oh, come on. What? Because I have a little conversation with...
If the disagreement is being civil, I mean, it's not getting out of hand. Nobody's going to get hurt. You know, it's not getting violent.
It's a healthy argument. I'm venting.
There's a disagreement. Then mama needs to stay in that room and relax.
Mom, don't you come out, grown folks talking here.
If it's the son's mom, she gonna look on the son's side. Well, you know what, babe? In some cases, you know. Now, if the mom is, if she's open and she is fair on what's going on, then she should be truthful.
Tell the truth and shame the devil.
And sometimes you gotta ask questions like, okay, well, is the mom that's staying with us, is she adding any value to the household? Is she subsidizing some of her income to the household? Is she watching the kids, assuming that she's physically or psychologically able to do stuff like that? Those are all
exactly
worth bringing up.
Well, her energy, her character, because she may have money to take care of herself and add to the household, but because of her character and how she thinks that life should be under your roof.
Her way may not be the best way. And peace of mind is priceless.
Can I get a witness?
And if there is an objection to mama or uncle being in the house, how do you communicate that to your significant other without stepping on their toes?
I think it's going to be tolerance time where you can't just say the first day, but a week or a month or something.
Man, that's a long time.
Then you say, hey, I dealt with it.
I was patient.
You can keep score.
Keep tabs on mom.
If that's what you want to do. You can make up a list, say she did this, and this. She's crossing boundaries, and I don't think it's healthy for our family.
People from my side of the family try to stay with me. I refused them, even though they was cool. I was like, okay, you cool. I don't have no problem with you staying with me. But I don't want you to stay with me because I don't want to set a precedent of it's okay for our people to come stay with us, because then my significant people is going to come stay with me also.
Let me get this straight. You told your people no, so her people can't come over.
You got to watch what kind of precedent you set in the first place.
She said, well, your uncle came over, your niece came over, and your cousin came over, your mother came over. I know he just got out of prison. But he's a nice guy. They call it the Department of Corrections. He's been corrected.
Ain't no kind of correction.
Results may vary. Danielle, maybe you dealt with some in-laws in your life.
Yeah, I had an in-law that lived with me for about 9 months at one point.
That's almost a year.
I think it really comes down to the relationship you have with that person. It did start off kind of rocky. They did come in trying to run the house. They felt like they were the elder, even though they weren't paying anything. That didn't last very long, needless to say.
It was long enough.
Question to you. Were they asked to move, or they got their stuff together and moved out?
It was a revolving door of people coming to stay with me at that time. As soon as his kids needed a place to stay, the dad got put out. for room for the kid. Wasn't no room, 2-bedroom apartments. He had to go. And then the cousin from jail came.
Sounds like the family motel.
Back to the letter.
It sounds like husband might not be as much help. She didn't mention him as help very much. She just said the kids were helping. And her. And it's his mom.
His mom and his uncle. Oh my goodness. So it wasn't like her uncle and his mom. If it was her uncle and his mom.
Uncle might have paid mom a visit. Hey, how you doing? How that leg healing up for you?
What's that noise?
Yeah.
The stress of dealing with in-laws in your house, that could really put a strain on the relationship.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's kind of bad because you can deal with in-laws, but the divorce, it become an outlaw. Disclaimer here, this podcast, we are not counselors. We're not therapists. Psychiatrists. We're not psychologists. Ordinary people living life and just talking about relationships. 3D, up close and personal.
I'm David.
I'm Danielle.
And I'm Darryl. 3D, up close and personal.
3D Up Close and Personal, the relationship podcast.
Would like to thank you for listening.
We have a new release every week.
And 12 episodes you can listen to anytime.
We are on 18 platforms.
And people have tuned in from 8 different countries.
3D Up Close and Personal is produced by Parks Media Group.
And additional music provided by You Me Multimedia Group, LLC 2025, all rights reserved.